Quickly, Dale, thank you for calling. You're on KLBJ.
Hey, I just want to clarify that Seattle used to be part of the Barbary Coast, and folks is a lot more tough up there than they are down here in wimpy old Austin. And so you have to deal with people like that up there like that. And she's awful lucky he didn't just billy club her over the head and crack her skull, because them cops up there are tough. Period.
And the women apparently are tough too. But she wasn't wearing like some big crown and big hoop earrings. She wasn't a rough looking chick. I mean, she looked kind of like your average everyday Starbucks 17-year-old just minding her business who happened to cross the street when she shouldn't have. And she says, why was he holding her anyway? She's like, let go of me, let go of me. Boom! You get punched in the face? Seattle can do better than that. Starbucks needs to pay.
Jeff Ward on News Radio 590 KLBJ.
I feel like I need some duct tape to keep my head together from exploding.
Better find something to hold on to. When Lisa is here, you never know where the topic will end up. Filling in for the vacationing Jeff Ward, here is Lisa Fritsch.
Thank you for being here. I'm Lisa Fritsch. Welcome to News Radio 590 KLBJ, 836-0590. Toll free is 877-590-KLBJ. We are not small people, but we wish to get our lives back. That's Bart Stupak, the Democrat from Michigan, addressing Tony Hayward from BP. I guess he's making a play on the words that we're not small. We want our lives back. I'm like, you know what? Why don't people just quit whining? The spill has happened. You're not going to have things go back to the way they are. And why are people accepting this smallness mentality? They're too small to make a difference, to go in there and help and find a solution and to make things better. The fact is, everybody on that coastline needs them to succeed. Needs that oil revenue, needs the spill to be cleaned up. All of this is a complete waste of time for Tony Hayward to be in here answering all these questions just for him to say, I'm deeply sorry. I'm not stonewalling. I understand the seriousness of the situation, the frustration and fears that continue to be voiced. All of this time and energy so that he can just come in and say, I'm sorry. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to dump the $20 billion out of your pocket. Good afternoon, Cindy. Thank you for being here on Jeff Ward Show, and I'm Lisa Fritsch.
Hi, I just had a comment on the woman that got punched.
Yes.
Well, I realized I grew up in a different generation. I'm a retired teacher, and when I grew up, we wouldn't be disrespectful toward a teacher, and yet today you ought to be able to shove a policeman and expect that man in an instant to make a discriminating decision based on gender, stature, and politically correctness on whether or not he should respond and how. And I think we've gone way overboard, and anybody that has the nerve to haul off and shove a police officer deserves what they get.
I hear you on that, Cindy. I do. But my question is that not excessive force for a police officer? He's got a gun. He's been trained. This girl is 17 years old, and maybe he doesn't know that. And you're right. Maybe she shouldn't be doing that. But to punch, the imagery I'm concerned with is of a man punching a young woman in the face for jaywalking. This is a jaywalking offense.
But I don't believe she got punched for jaywalking.
She wasn't endangering anybody else. They were having, and I'm not condoning taking on a police officer, but do you think he could have handled that better than punching the young lady in the face?
Again, if I'm willing to come up and shove a police officer, why aren't I willing to pull out a knife or anything else? I just think it's unrealistic.
No, that's a big. Why didn't he just shoot her then? He should just go. Why does she even deserve to live? If you're the kind of person who's gonna push and fight back and argue with a police officer, then off with you. Off you go.
You're putting words in my mouth.
No, I'm not. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just saying then you could keep expanding on that particular logic. I mean, at some point, the police officer bears the responsibility to handle things reasonably where there doesn't have to be excessive force.
I suppose.
Especially between a man and a woman. But I hear you. I think society, we're not following the etiquette that we used to. We're all rude. We're all impatient.
It's just, I think we've got a society that says, how far can we push a policeman? Can we cuss him out? Can we push him? And we're expecting the police officers to respond better than we do. It's like at some point we need to get back to a point where you wouldn't think about shoving a police officer.
I would like to see the entire videotape, Cindy. Thank you for calling. But I would like to see the entire videotape from beginning to end for, from the point where he stops the woman from jaywalking and what went down, because it doesn't look like did he just grab her? Oh, wait, you're jaywalking. There's a lot of pieces of that puzzle missing. I don't like how the police are so quick, though, to go to violence, to go to the punching, to go to the beating. For one single person, a man and a woman in particular, you remember that case, actually, with the old 70-year-old woman that the officer beat, and you hear, oh, you heard her screaming. I'm sure Thomas has got that. I'm just waiting on that one. I knew it. I knew you had that. And you just wonder, do we want our police officers to protect and serve us in that way? I don't think we do. 836-0590. Toll free is 877-590-KLBJ. And speaking of the toll free, Daniel, you're up next on KLBJ. Hello.
Good afternoon, Lisa. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good, good. Well, pretty simple as this. I believe that girl, I'm calling in regards to the Seattle police. That police should have punched her twice in the face.
Oh.
Because, no, let me tell you why.
You don't believe that.
When you watch the video, it looks like that girl is reaching over for the gun. Now, she lunges over to the cop. Let's just say you put yourself in the cop position. You have kids at home. You need to go home, whatever. You want to go back to your wife. Someone's coming to reach over. It seems to be a gun, and you have her friends with big black baggy shirts surrounding you. Well, obviously you're going to be scared, and you're going to throw a punch. What else would you do?
He needs to call for, if he is that incompetent, he needs to call for backup.
How? Okay, if he called for backup, that means that you have to put one hand on the walkie-talkie.
She wasn't reaching. She wasn't reaching. I saw her push him up on the shoulder level, and then he reared back and went to her face.
Well, your analysis is a good. That's after you watch 3 or 4 times the video. I mean, you're in the moment. You don't know what her friends are doing, and then there's guys all around you talking and saying, "Are you serious? What are you doing that?" I mean, and it's not, and it looks like it's not the best neighborhood to do that. So I really believe that cops should have. Well, he should have aimed better next time and just hit him square in the nose and knock her out.
Well, at least you know what? At least he didn't shoot her. Okay. Oh, we all won. It's a win-win situation. She wasn't shot.
I was just very, very shocked to see that a police officer would punch a woman, and then you've got the race issue in there. You've got a white cop smacking a black woman. That's going to cause a whole bunch of trouble.
You're darn right it is. This ain't the color purple, man. You get off of me. What you think this is? I ain't getting on back of no bus. Better be cool. 836-0590, toll free 877-590-KLBJ. Hilarious. If it had been a black guy hitting the woman, I guess it's okay. All right, so fat women need loving too, or is this really what the show is coming down to in the next hour? Fat sex? Is that, this is basically where we're going next hour. Obesity can sink your sex life, but only if you're a fat woman. Listen, women.
I don't think that's appropriate.
I don't think that's appropriate, Lisa. It can sink your fat sex life. Not if you're a man, you have fat sex. You just buy bigger pant sizes and hubba. Women have to be all skinny and good looking. Okay, so 12,000 French men and women aged 18 to 69 were polled about their sex experience based on their body mass index. Obese women are 30% less likely than normal weight women to have had a sexual partner in the last year.